Vic, you want to throw some basketball passes?
Yeah. So I was debating whether I wanted to put this video up, as it's like semi-boring in that a lot of the footage isn't captured on screen. But I think there's a lot of good stuff in here and a lot of things I can say about training. And I know for those of you who watch every video, you want to see all the stuff that I'm doing and all the thoughts that I'm having. So I figured I would put this up. So past couple weeks, I've been going to the park a bit to work out with some soccer players. It's the summer, it's fun, it's good cross training for basketball, and it's also an opportunity for me to do some weird different basketball stuff. So I've been doing some basketball soccer hybrid drills, and that's easy for me to do because I just bring my basketball to the field and I just start throwing it around basically. I mean, I think a big thing in training is you really need to be assertive. I feel like I could spend a lot of time waiting for people to train me or train with me, and that may just never happen. But if I am the trainer, I have a lot of people who actually train me. I mean, I'm not in any kind of a system. I'm outside of the system. I'm not a prospect or anything like that. So whether you are a prospect or not, or whether you're in the NBA or not, in your training, I feel like you really got to be assertive. You got to be the guy bringing people together. You know, whether you're bringing together your friends who play basketball, your friends who don't play basketball who are going to help you, or whether you're going to bring your rebounders or whatever. So what I did, I'm just taking my basketball to the park, and I want to practice passing. I want to practice long passing. I feel that's a weakness in my game, is throwing full court break passes. I'm used to leading the break, because as the guard, you know, I'm usually running. I'm usually not the guy getting the rebound and throwing the outlet, but I want to have that in my arsenal, so that's something to work on. I also just want to get my passes to be crisper, my long chest passes, my long overhead chest passes, my baseball passes, my hook passes, my cuff passes, whatever I'm working on, I just want to get them crisper. And doing this is a good way to do it. You know, bringing the ball. We can't dribble it outside. There's no hoop. What are we limited to doing if we're going to play around with the basketball? We're going to practice passing, and we're just going to get better. Passing is a huge part of basketball. You see in my other videos, I say that I think that it's absurd how little practicing is passed compared to shooting and dribbling. From what I see of everyone's training mixes, and even a lot of high-level basketball practices, they'll get passing going on, but it's not the focus. And I think it being the focus is actually kind of reasonable, because you throw more passes than you throw shots, and you throw roughly and probably more passes than you put the ball on the floor also in an ideal offense. That's just my opinion. But as a guard, I want to be able to throw passes crisply. I want to be able to throw them long. I want to be able to throw them on the seams. I want to throw them in a variety of ways and angles so the passes aren't getting deflected. So three of us were spacing out, and I'm trying some random stuff. Lefty baseball, lefty chest, lefty overhead. I'm just trying to up my range on this. I think it's good to work on range. Even for like passes that you wouldn't normally throw 30 yards. Like you wouldn't throw a 30-yard chest pass, full court chest pass, but it's a good thing to practice, because you might throw a full court chest pass as just a cross court pass that's going really, really fast. Does that make sense? So this is just a good thing, I think, to do. I mean, I'm all about bringing the basketball everywhere you go, and you might find yourself in random situations doing random practices and learning random things that you wouldn't learn normally. And, you know, I always hear about the great players and how they've got a basketball with them in the grocery store when they're little, and they're Euro stepping around, you know, customers and stuff like that. And I think that's the way to go for training. Like, if you just practice on the court like everyone else, or even more than everyone else, that's good, but you end up getting into the same old things. I think it's good to be restricted in what you can do. I think restrictions breed creativity, and when you restrict yourself to only doing certain kinds of drills, you tend to focus on new things. Like, I'm going to focus on catching this long pass on the seams and then sending the pass on the seams without any kind of adjustments, which I think is really interesting. You know, I want to take one dribble, then work on my baseball pass and various things. I just think it's a great thing to work on. Another thing you'll notice is that I'm barefoot while I'm wearing socks. Toe socks, actually. I wear toe socks because they don't constrict the toe box as much. They let me spread my toes while offering me some level of comfort and protection. But I think that it's really, really good to have a certain amount of barefoot workout every single day if possible, because on soft ground, because it allows you to get back to the fundamentals of having strong feet. I talk about this in my walking on sand video, but I mean, the way it works is society has just introduced roads, and now we're rocking shoes on hard ground. But if you get back to soft ground, just go barefoot. Your feet can handle it, and it wakes up all kinds of these dormant muscles in your legs, which is it's just fantastic. I mean, another thing to note here is, like, there is some soccer stuff going on, and that's just good cross training. I think, you know, the best basketball players don't actually always train basketball year round. They often train year round. But Michael Jordan, for example, you know, he said that he golfed 6 hours a day in the off season, and that's, you know, that's how he spent his time. So Steve Nash plays soccer and so on. So I just think it's good to just to be doing like different kinds of sports, especially in the off season, because it allows you to develop different kinds of skills that'll make you better and save you from getting injured also. So I'm practicing actually with a UW rower. This guy rowed for the University of Washington. He was which is, I think, he says the best rowing program, college program in the world. So this guy's a pretty solid athlete. He's not a basketball player at all, though. But I mean, just training with athletes gives you a different perspective, because this guy can tell me what rowers train like and stuff like that, which is really useful. Of note, I'm throwing a full court cuff pass, which is a really fun pass to throw. You just jam the ball in the cuff and you laser it, as you can see. Really, really powerful pass. I like it a lot, and it's a good way to throw a bounce pass, or yeah, it's similar to a baseball pass. Bam. It's just really, really fast pass. So that's something that I like to do. I throw it in games occasionally, but I'm still deciding the merits of this as opposed to a baseball. Something about the cuff pass is you can hold it up fast, and you can, you know, the cuff's really strong, so at the last moment you can change your mind and put the ball on the floor if you want, as opposed to a baseball pass, you can't do that. So that's something to think about. But at this point in the video, these kids challenge us to play baseball, which we decided to do, and it's pretty fun, you know, just different kind of off-season activity. I make some catches in the field and actually hit my first ever home run at any level of baseball, pick up baseball against some 15-year-old kids. But that's what training is all about, is just variety.